like to, in conclusion, turn over the mic to Dr. Mary Shuttleworth. Please welcome her.
Fantastic. Yes, exactly. Where's our top data? Okay, good. Stand by. Okay, so where do we start? We had the panelists, professors from universities, United Nations officials, amazing action people. The panels were amazing. The youth panel was incredible. I mean, I really don't think I have to reiterate. And I must add, I'm a teacher, so I want to know. And I've been going around, what did you enjoy? What did you like? Of course, everybody loved everything. But there was one resounding response, just kept popping up now. Oh, it's really true. They loved hearing from the youth. Whether it was the youth panel or the individual presentations that you did. Oh my goodness, you had me in tears. Okay. I mean, so I just want you to know that the response I got, as much as they really appreciated our, the people with lifetimes of experience, they really wanted to hear from you. And they really appreciated hearing from you. So give yourselves a hand. I meet lots of people, and you have to come to the summit. So last night I was meeting with a delegation from Japan. Is the delegation from Japan here? Neo. Yes, please stand up. But as a team, they came and they went, wow, this is a whole new world. We are a huge human rights family. So, what I'm going to do next is present 2 awards. Now, believe me, when you think about who to award, just look at what we just looked at. I would say there's a few awards we can present here, just for the people in this room, and that's not even our whole human rights family. The decision was tough, it was hard, so we came down to 2 awards. And I want you to listen carefully to the stories of the awards, and it's very specific, because this year we were looking at expansion. I'm a little old lady with gray hairs and a very proud grandmother, but alone doesn't matter the vision, doesn't matter the passion, doesn't matter how many 24 hours I want to work. It's not possible alone, but together we can make a huge impact. So the first person that I would like to bring to the stage is somebody who actually has been following us since 2008 and came to the first international summit in 2008. Proud sash. Went back to his country, continued in his country, teaching human rights here, teaching human rights there. He's a lawyer. Teaching human rights, teaching human rights. Eventually he realized that he cannot reach the indigenous community because they have a local language. Some of them speak French, but not all of them. So he took the Youth Human Rights booklet and he translated it into Bamaku. That is the traditional language for Mali. He translated that booklet. Why? Because he wants to reach the individual people. Expansion, working together, creating teams. He translated the booklet, keep coming to the summit, keep being inspired, keep continuing. And then he started reaching to other countries. Kind of I keep saying it wrong. Cote d'Ivoire, the Gambia, am I right? Those are the countries, and of course Mali. So what I'm saying is this very first person we're going to acknowledge is a person who not only cared so passionately about his own country, but he realized that the people in his country could not speak French. Okay? And I know many of you have the same situation as indigenous communities. We need to reach them. They need to know their human rights. Anyway, so I would like to present this award to a dear friend, a lawyer, and a loyal Youth for Human Rights supporter, a long time. Okay? Kabin Dumbia, please join me.
I had no words. I didn't know this was happening. I'm taking a little bit aback, but I'm very grateful for you for human rights for all these years. We started this journey together in 2010. And then started to work even closer together on 2014. And then it was very hard for me to keep coming back in 2015, 16, and 17. And then I decided after the pandemic I had to come back to New York. Human rights are for everyone. This is my message to you. Thank you to you all.
So there's this amazing person who speaks French and a little bit of English. I speak no French. So our relationship, our entire communication has to go through Switzerland with Marcella. And I said, please explain this to him. All right, what does he say? All right, tell him this. So it's a through translation thing. Congratulations again. Is literally a continued message from the summit. So there's working like Mara in his country, of course. Then there's expanding to additional countries, like Kabin. And then there's forming collaborations among countries, into regions. Who can work with whom? Because you have common cultures, you have common accesses. And the next team, I'm going to tell you very briefly about these people. We've been working together since 2004. I do not want them to come together, but come up until, because they'll know who I'm talking about very quickly. I want them to all just wait, and then when I finish telling the story, I like to tell. I'm a teacher, I like to talk, right? So when I finish telling about the stories, we'll welcome them all together and present them with the award. And again, they have no idea. So, we started in 2001, started Youth for Human Rights, continuing, developing the materials very slowly. Okay, we need materials, so there's the booklet. Okay, so now, let's get some videos going and what have you. And I very quickly realized, this ain't going to go anywhere unless we do this globally. And if we have to do this globally, I better go. And so in 2004, I did the very first world tour one of the countries I traveled to had literally just ended civil war. And yeah, when we traveled in this country, it was so dangerous to travel in the country, and I had my only son. I only had one son. He was with me. He was not with me. So it's me and my only son, right? It was so dangerous to travel in those streets at that time. The car in which we were driving, they had white paper on the license plate so that the warmongers or whatever would not be able to easily track us. Okay, that is your climate. So on this trip in this country, I met this youngster who was basically with his father, who was 13 at the time. And this little guy could speak a little bit of English, so he could help with translations. He came with us to all the stops. Right. Since then, he has not only human rights in his country, he has made a huge impact because he realized that there was a problem with the police force, and the police were violating people's human rights. Yes, we have to put in ethics. Yes, of course, you have to take a perpetrator out of the... So, but you don't have to violate his human right. You know, I mean, you don't have to really beat him up. So he made it his mission to teach thousands of police officers, and that's just a small fraction of what he's done. I can go on and on and on, because our relationship is since 2004. I just want to give you a little viewpoint on each one of these so you get an idea. The overall message is collaborate. Get to know who can work together. You are always, always stronger together. Always stronger together. All right. So, next one is, I should say, a young girl. And she tried to come to the summit. And well, I write the invitation letter. So I would write an invitation letter, do the whole, everything we need, documentation, everything, denied. Next year she'd come back to me, please apply for a visa. I want to come to the summit. All the documents, precise, like, okay, what else can I want? Precise, denied. And honestly, I think it was 5 years, she can correct me, I think it was 5 years of denied visa. But every year she came back, and the following one she was able to come to the summit. Not only does this young lady live in a country called Afghanistan, and Pakistan. I have visited there, I didn't meet her there. Pakistan, that I'm sure some of you know that, you know, we still have to address a few issues, particularly to do with women, right? So she has done extensive work teaching human rights to women and children in her country during disaster areas, taking packages of food. She's amazing. But the over-the-top amazing thing, she heard I was going to Nigeria for their conference there. Oh, I want to come. So she came with me to Nigeria, except she comes from Pakistan, so their food is a little bit different. So when we got to Nigeria, in her suitcase, there were loads and loads and loads of crackers. She never ate one mouthful of food from Nigeria. She just, you know, she just ended on crackers. Anyway, anyway, you will meet her. She's amazing. All right. So the next person. In India, we decided on one of these world tours, we decided, okay, that's it. I can't, you know, the buddy's getting a little bit older. Let's get the countries together. So instead of going country to country to country to country, we're going to invite several countries together to one place and then be there for a week together. And it's a regional conference. And that's basically where our relationship started. After that, he did several other conferences, including working with Nepal to create an international conference, I believe, was 200 or 300 youth from around the world flying to Nepal for about a week. Okay, but this is part of what I'm telling you about. You are stronger together, people. You are stronger together. Okay. And then he met Simone Sue, my assistant. You know her as my assistant. She's the champion back there. And she does university tours every year. Yes. So she would invite guests, like from India, from Nepal, to come to Taiwan. They would go from university to university, and they would educate these youth about, there are issues outside of Taiwan. There's a whole different lifestyle out there. The result of them working with Simone, at the end of every conference, Simone would do a survey, and every student, before they leave the door, they have to fill out the survey. An estimated 50%, 50% of the quantity of students sitting there in that room would offer to volunteer. That was their product, okay? That is the second volunteer. He's from India. And then there's another person that I think you might know pretty well. And that is a person who not only has worked in India, but has been here with us year after year after year. Yash, where you are? Every year he applies for a visa. Every year it's Next is Anaraj. And where is our delegate from Pakistan? Where are you? Collaboration among countries. They are part of the South Asia team, and as I hear it from Simone very quietly, they've already been invited to go to Taiwan next year for the university tour. There are so many more of the amazing teams and team players and groups of people that we could award here. But the message that these awardees bring is work together, form your teams. Okay? Work together within your country, yourself reaching out to other countries, and then work together. You are here. We are all part of a human rights strategy. So, it brings me to the time that I This is something I don't like to do. Saying goodbye is not something I want to do or I'm willing to do. And the reason is because I believe that family never really says goodbye. Thank you, and we look forward to seeing you next year.
The delegates will be going to Times Square and the bus is waiting for you, so please make your way outside. And then for anyone else going to the Fitzpatrick Hotel, the bus will be at 6 p.m., so please stick around for that. Thank you very much.